make a quick nozzle for the balloon cars, and feel free to change measurements, to experiment, or to vary any of the dimensions or any shape or anything if you feel like you have a different or a better idea. But the general approach will be, I get to introduce you to Loft and Sweep today. Okay, so I'm going to start a new part studio. And let me say this also before we get going. Make sure that you're in millimeters here. Workspace units are in millimeters for this one. Okay, that was right up here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw on my right plane. I'm going to look right at it and sketch on it. And I'm going to just draw I think I'll draw a 15 millimeter circle, and I'm going to extrude it by 2.5 centimeters, by 25 millimeters. That seems fine to me. Okay, there's my starting point. Let's turn this into a quick nozzle with the conical end shape here by adding a new plane. Click on the right plane, click this plane tool here, and it will add a new plane for us. I don't want it on this side. You'll see why in a minute. I want it on the other side. So I'm just going to hit this arrow to flip it over. You can also drag this and put it where you want it. But I'm going to put it, it was at 25. I'm just going to put it at 20 millimeters out on this side. And that exact number doesn't matter much. Whatever you feel looks good or will operate well. The reason I put that plane there is so I can draw a small circle on it. Right? So I'm going to look right at that plane, the new plane that I have, select it by clicking on it or clicking right here. And I'm going to sketch on it, and I'm going to put a small circle here and zoom right in so I can see well. I'm going to put like a 10 millimeter circle here, 10. I'm trying to think. No, I'm going to go with more like 6. Right? So let me get my dimension tool. I'm going to go with more like a 6 millimeter circle here. Now what I have is, that one I believe is 15 across. Yes, that one's got a diameter of 15 millimeters, and this other one has a diameter of 6 millimeters. And I'm going to go up here to Loft, and I'm going to choose 2 sketches, that sketch and that sketch, and it will connect them together like this. I will just hit the check mark, and it's starting to look a little bit like a rocket engine or a nozzle for a balloon car. Okay. Now, if you want a straight nozzle, you could put an end cap on this right now. I'm going to suggest that we go ahead and make them curve upwards so the balloon is up above, not dragging and in the way of the wheels potentially. So now we need another plane, and it's going to be offset to the top plane. I'm going to put a plane up here. So I choose the top plane, I hit this plane here. And again, this number is variable. You can choose, I'm just going to leave it at 25 millimeters. That's about 1 inch. And I'm going to just leave it like that. And I'm going to put another 15 millimeter circle on this new plane that I have. Right? So what plane did I just create? I created plane 2. And I'm going to sketch on it. I'm going to do a 15 millimeter circle. Again, not really doing calculations or anything. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and put it out here somewhere. And make that a 15 millimeter circle. Enter. And I'm now going to, I'm about to, I'm not there yet. I'm going to connect that face to that face with a curve, but I need to tell it what path to take. And so what we're going to do is sketch on the front plane and use my line tool, and I'm going to draw the line first with 90-degree angles. Okay, and I click there, and right there, and then boom, up to that. That's the center of the circle above, see? But here's a trick. I'm going to now use my sketch fillet, and I'm going to choose right there, and I'm not going to do 5. I'm going to do more like 10 or 15. Let's see what 10 looks like. Yeah, I like that. That's a good curvature. That's the path that my sweep will take now, right? So I'm going to choose my sweep tool, and I'm going to choose that face or that region right there, and I'm going to choose where I want it to go. I want it to go to sketch right there. And what path do I want? I have to click it to turn it blue. I want it to take this path. Now this path is actually 3 sections, so we have to click all 3 of them. 1, 2, and 3. And you have this. Accept. Okay, good. We're getting somewhere now. I'm going to look right at the top, and that's 15 millimeters in diameter. I'm going to put a 20 mil circle right on top of that. I'm going to sketch. Where? Right on that surface there. And I'm going to grab a 15 millimeter circle. Sorry, this is 15. I'm going to do 20. 20 mils. And I'm going to extrude it by just a few. Certainly not 25. This is where the balloon connects to 3. That seems about right. And check. So there's our general shape. Now this is a solid piece. No air will flow through it. And we could sweep a thin hole all the way through, and I did that and printed it actually, but it was really hard to remove. There were supports inside to hold it up when it was printing, and I couldn't get them out with just such a small hole. So I'm hoping that when I do this, shell, right, that will shell it out. Like if I just went up here and I chose that face, it's going to shell the whole thing to 2.5 millimeters. But that's not what I want to do. I want to hollow it out. Right? So let's see if it took. No, because I changed it on the fly. Delete. So instead of that, let's do this. So shell, choose hollow, parts to hollow, that part. Check. Okay, now this thing is hollow inside. All right, now this thing is hollow inside. I can even show you that. Don't do this part, but I'm just going to show you that I can, where's split? Split is, I thought it was right here. It's right here. No, that's mirror. Split's right here, right in front of me. I'm just going to part to split this part. I'm going to put it right back together. I just want to show you that the inside is hollow. I'm splitting it right there. And now if I go back to here, I can move this thing by X, Y, Z, and we can look inside. I'm going to undo all this stuff, all the splitting stuff, and I just want to look. See, it is hollow inside. It is hollow inside, right? So I'm going to undo this part here. Don't, like the part that I said, don't do it, right? Delete. I'm also going to edit my shell. That looked a little thick-walled to me. I'm going to edit my shell and not have it hollow with a 2.5 millimeter wall, but I'm just going to do a 2 millimeter wall. Okay, so now it's still hollow inside of there, but the walls are now just 2 millimeters. Now all we have to do is put the holes in where we want them. So we want a hole right here, and this is something that requires a little bit of experimentation. I'm going to try, I don't know, this is 6 millimeters across. I'm going to try a 4 millimeter hole. 4, and extrude it, remove the material, and just do a couple millimeters because it's only a couple millimeters thick, a few millimeters, right? There's a hole to the inside. You can see a hole to the inside there. Okay, and let's do the same thing to the top, but let's make this hole bigger. Right, so I'm going to sketch where on this surface here, and I'm going to put a circle. I need to find the center of this circle. There it is. And I'll make this about 10. Because it's 20 across. So let's do 10 and extrude that, remove, again, just a few. I just don't want to cut down into the part, right? I just want to go down a little bit. And there. So now I've got a big hole up top, and I've got a smaller hole here, and I was playing with a balloon I have that seems similar to the balloons we'll be using. We'll know more really soon. But the balloon fits pretty well across this 20 millimeter wide circle. And now we've got it hollowed. And I'm hoping out that when I print this, I'm going to print it in this orientation right here. So the only supports in here will be, it's going to print some supports inside of there to hold up this top part as it 3D prints. But I should be able to knock those out pretty easily with a tool. And we'll have a balloon car nozzle. All right. Let's try that for starters. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.